Hello there. I wanted to do a video on dynamically setting the mass of physics objects, or anything really, any object. And so I'm going to first show the most obvious example, which is with a hugely massive object like this big sphere. Look at this thing. Oops. To make it non-destroyable first. So here's my in-game menu for destructible objects, but this one I don't want it to be destroyable. I just want to be able to shoot it, but look at how I'm moving it, but it's not really going anywhere, right? That's just its native mass, because its natural mass, because it's so big. But I can change its mass to, how about 0? So that's 0. Let's see what 0 does. Off it goes into the distance. But you know, that was a bit extreme. How about just 10%? 0.1, right? Let's go 0.1 and see. So that's just 10%, right? That's still not really going nowhere. So let's go down to 0.01. Just 100th. 1%. Ah, there we go. See, look, check it out. Off it goes into the distance. Right? So that's a pretty obvious example. Let's get rid of that. Let's use... These rings are pretty cool. I like these rings. I must confess. I'm a big fan of these rings. So let's see. So let's make 3 rings. And I want them all to be non-destroyable. And we'll get that one will have normal mass. This one will have a mass. Well, first I'll just show you what happens. So these rings, they're pretty light, right? And I don't want them to be this light because I want to play with them more. So we need to make them a little less light. Where the hell? That one's having a party. We need to make them a little less light, right? So let's make this one 10. Let's make this one 20. Okay, so this is scaling, so it's a multiplicative factor. So 1 is 100%, so 20 is 2,000%, right? So we did 10, which was 1,000%. So notice how, look, it's harder to move. It's still not that hard, but at least it's not flying all over the place compared to this one. That one's bonkers. Wow. So yeah, that's pretty bonkers. Off it went. So now so let's see, what about so that's the 10%, what about the 20? See, let's look at 20. 20 is a little too much, don't you think? That's not really giving me the effect I want, but I think 10's a little bit too light, actually. Let's go with 12. Let's go with 14. Okay. So the middle one's sort of my ideal case. So now look. So that's kind of more what I wanted. I wanted to be able to like lift it up like that, right? So this is dynamically changed. I just did, you know. I'm perfecting the mass scaling without changing anything else, and it's per instance, right? Because this is all one class of object. It's the same ring, and it's one class, this destructible wall thing, but per instance the mass scaling is completely different, right? Yeah, see, a little too light. Can't even decide if it's solid or not. So that's so just some other fun examples while we're here. Capsules are cool. I like capsules. Let's get a capsule in here. So let's see how light capsules are naturally based on their size. Oh, yeah. I have to do the whole cannot be destroyed business. Alright, so let's see what these things are like. So I don't know about you, but I think capsules are pretty light too. See, they're so light they shoot right through the floor. so yeah, they're a little too light. So let's make them heavier. give them some more mass. Let's go with 10 times, and let's go with 100 times. 100's a lot, by the way. So let's see. So yeah, look at this one. So I can still actually move this one. I'm impressed I can move it all. It's 100 times heavier than its original. Let's go see what the 10 one is like. See, 10 is nice, right? So there you have it. This is dynamically changing the mass in-game per instance, and you can do it anytime you want. I haven't left the game, right? This is all in my in-game editor, so you can change the mass any way you like, anytime. Do you have anything else fun to show you before this video runs out? How about this large thing? So we have this guy, right? Let's make him upright. And let's see. Okay. Alright. So this guy, let's see what his native mass is like. So he's, I don't know, I think that's pretty light, actually. And this is all also relative to the power of my projectile that I'm using. And I'll show you the code for how I use the projectile as well. But that's pretty light relative to everything else we've got going. I think this fellow should be a little bit heavier. Let's make him 2 times. 1 point. That's no, that's way too much. Alright, yeah. Let's try 1.4. So that feels pretty good, right? I can knock it over. Can I move it effectively? I can move it. So that feels pretty massive. Feels a little bit too massive. So once again, I'm just showing fun examples. I mean, you get the idea. This function that I'm providing you with does actually work. And let's go into happy mode. And yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on in app, but look, it's moving, right? You can see? No, I can't see anything either. But hey, it was pretty colors. So see this 1.2, this feels about right to me. I can move it, it feels hefty, but it's still movable. I could position it and use sort of like a physics puzzle where I had to actually jump on top of this thing to reach a new location. You know, that feels about right. So you can really fine-tune your physics puzzles and your physics games when you can change the mass of the objects per instance anytime you want, right? Per instance is really important, right? What if I want another one of these fellows? Let's see. I don't think I implemented copy pasting for that yet, but it wouldn't be hard to do. So let's say I want another one of these creatures. Whoa! Didn't hit the right button. So now we have a nice little volume that wants to play. But sorry, volume, not today. Alright, so we have another one of these fellows, right? And that one didn't have its thing set correctly, but let's say that I don't really want that one to move at all, unless a really heavy force comes along. So I'm going to get 10 times heavier, right? So let's knock this one over. So that one knocks over, but this fellow is just not paying any attention, right? So some really massive force would have to come along to really get that one to pay attention. I don't want it to fall over when it first arrives, though. Alright, so it's this pillar of strength and sturdiness. It's not doing nothing. Can I influence if I try really hard? Try really hard? No, right? It's not going anywhere. But if you wanted the player to sort of have to really feel like they were trying, but they could still do it, let's see if that's possible. 4 times. Like, can I do it? Can I knock it over? So there. Well, that was a little pretty easy, actually. So let's go with 7 times. So you can see, like, you have a lot of options. So I felt like I'm trying a little bit harder now, right? But I still knocked it over. So that was still a little bit easy. Let's go up to 9. So let's get this fellow out of the way. So I want this to be difficult, like I have to really try, so I'm trying. Can I do it? It doesn't really seem that impressed, does it, right? So obviously that was too much. So in your physics puzzles, you can use this function I'm providing you with to fine-tune everything and make your life very happy. So this fellow, he's just not paying attention anymore. Oh, I got it, see? So that felt like an effort. I feel like I accomplished something just by knocking it over. Now, when I get on top of this, feel like, hey, you know, I really achieved that. That was hard. So, that is, um, that is the whole show right there. Hope you enjoyed. Let's get a nice shot of our sun as we go.